look, I mean, Billy Crystal, Debbie Reynolds, Neil Patrick Harris, Thornton, a book about Thornton Wilder, Martin Short.
This is like a fabulous...
Me!
Theater press agent Susan Schulman's Backstage Pass to Broadway is in good company.
I'm a fan kid like everybody else. I loved Mary Martin, and she was kind of my first Broadway fan crush. And I was just a fan. I was just a kid who wrote her letters at the beginning.
Schulman's book chronicles her more than 40 years as a press agent on Broadway, beginning with her work on the musical Applause, starring Lauren Bacall.
And one day I was called into the producer's office, and they said the only person that Betty Bacall will work with in the Bill Dahl office is Susan Schulman, which was crazy. I mean, I was 23, I was a little kid.
And any theater professional, Schulman says, should be able to answer this question: are you anyone?
Because you're standing in a dressing room and you're talking to the actor who's starring in your show, and you're standing behind them at the dressing table, and you're looking in the mirror and you're looking at them all made up, looking wigged and draped and looking gorgeous, and behind them is little pathetic you know, looking ordinary. And it can be a crusher if you don't have a sense of who you are and what your worth is.
One larger-than-life personality went too far. That's Schulman with Zero Mestal, who was about to star in The Merchant before his untimely death.
When we were in rehearsals for The Merchant, Q Magazine, which ultimately turned into New York Magazine, but Q Magazine wanted to feature Zero Mestal on its cover. So I set up a photo shoot in Q's photo studio, and they shot Zero, Z as he was called, sitting on a stool for the cover. And when it was over, the photographer said, let's take a picture of all the people that made this happen. And so there was his dresser and some lighting assistants, some photography assistants, and myself. And so we all thought, oh, this will be fun. So we all jumped in and we sort of posed around Z, who was sitting on a stool. And I knelt down next to him. And just before the shutter clicked, for absolutely no reason, he reached down and grabbed my breast. And I was a kid. Not that it mattered how old I was horrified. But what was I going to do? So I kind of shoved his hand away as the camera clicked. And that's the picture.
That's just one of the stories in Schulman's book, and there are more to come. She's currently working on a new edition with more stories from a Broadway press agent.